Two paws, one heart, in a quiet corner of the city, behind an old tea shop and beside a broken streetlight, lived a small gray cat. Her name was Mimi. No one knew how long Mimi had been there. Her fur was rough, her tail bent slightly at the end, and her eyes held a sadness that words could never explain. Every night, she curled herself into a tiny ball beside the wall, listening to the sounds of people laughing, cars passing, and doors closing, doors that never opened for her. She had learned one thing very early in life: the world doesn't stop for the lonely. One rainy evening, when the sky cried as hard as Mimi wanted to, something unexpected happened. A dog appeared. He was big, brown, with floppy ears and eyes full of kindness. He limped slightly, one paw injured, and his collar hung loose around his neck, proof that once someone had loved him too. His name was Bruno. At first, Mimi hissed. She had learned to fear dogs. Fear kept her alive. But Bruno didn't bark. He didn't chase. He simply sat, a few steps away, and waited. Rain poured down, soaking both of them. Minutes passed, then hours. Finally, Bruno gently pushed a piece of bread toward Mimi with his nose. That was the moment everything changed. That night, two broken souls shared warmth under the same broken streetlight. From that day on, they became inseparable. Bruno would guard Mimi while she slept. Mimi would clean Bruno's injured paw every morning. They shared scraps of food, sunny spots on the road, and silent conversations only hearts could understand. When children threw stones, Bruno stood in front of Mimi. When hunger made Bruno weak, Mimi brought him whatever she could find. They had nothing, but they had each other. People started noticing them. The cat and the dog always together, some said. Strange friendship, others laughed. But they didn't know the truth. They didn't know that Bruno had been abandoned when he grew old and sick. They didn't know that Mimi's kittens had been taken away, one by one, leaving her empty and broken. They didn't know that these two had chosen to live again, together. One winter night, the cold was cruel. The streets were silent. Shops closed early. Snow fell like ash from the sky. Mimi curled into Bruno's chest, shivering. Bruno wrapped his body around her, using his last strength to keep her warm. But Bruno was getting weaker. Mimi noticed. His breathing slowed. His eyes lost their spark. She meowed softly, nudging him, begging him not to sleep. But Bruno smiled. Yes, smiled. In his own way, as if to say, "Don't be scared. I'm here." That night, Mimi didn't sleep. She stayed awake, pressing her tiny body against Bruno's heart, listening to every beat, terrified that one might be the last. Morning came, and Bruno didn't move. Mimi cried. She cried in a way only animals can, silent, painful, broken. She rubbed her head against his face, meowed desperately, refusing to believe the world could be so cruel. People passed by. Some looked. Some walked away. Then, one person stopped. A young woman knelt beside them. She noticed Mimi protecting Bruno's body, refusing to leave. She saw the love. She felt it. With shaking hands, she touched Bruno and felt a faint heartbeat. "Alive," she whispered. Everything happened fast. A vet. Warm blankets. Medicine. Hope. Mimi refused to leave Bruno's side, not even for food. Days passed. Then one day, Bruno opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was Mimi. She purred so loudly that even the vet smiled through tears. Bruno survived. Not just survived, he was chosen. The woman adopted them both. A warm home. Soft beds. Full bowls. No more fear. Now, every evening, Bruno sleeps with Mimi curled under his chin. Sunlight fills the room. Laughter replaces silence. Sometimes, Mimi looks at Bruno and remembers the streetlight, the rain, the cold, and she knows something important. Love doesn't need words. Family doesn't need blood. And friendship can save a life. Sometimes two lost souls meet and become home for each other. Paw Prints, Red Heart.